Welcome into another testing new makeup. I am leaving tomorrow pretty early for a vacation for a week with my family. Are going up to North Carolina to a condo there. We always seem to go in the summertime. Not really sure why we go to a condo on the ski resort in the summer, probably to get away from this dreadful heat here in Florida. So I am pre-filming this. So I have a couple of things that I want to test. There are only really two that's like new. The first one is the Danessa Myrics Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Did I say that right? Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint, yeah. So I want to try this and we'll kind of do a wear test, not like a long wear test. I am going to try and pre-film 2 videos, so I will have those go up while I am out. So while I'm filming the other video, I'll give this some time to like sit and see how it works, because I think I'll probably be up here for a couple of hours filming, or at least like an hour and a half, and we'll see how that wears. And also, Giorgio Armani came out with a long wear and caring intense matte lipstick. So I picked up one shade of this. I also though want to try these on camera. Seen a lot of people have these and they're really adorable. They're the blushes from Juicy Pang. They're the ones that look like little nail polishes. So I picked up 2 shades of that off of Amazon and I want to use those in today's video. And then also when Lunar Beauty came out with their new lip products, the lipsticks and the lip liners, I also placed the order for some faux mink lashes. So because one of the other videos that I'm doing today or filming right now is going to be for eyeshadow. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, that one's probably going to go up second. These are the new Petite Fours from Viseart. I love Viseart. So every time they have a new launch, I always pick up their shadows. They had 3 quads drop. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, check back, because there's going to be a dedicated video swatching and doing 2 looks. I'm not going to try all 3 palettes. I think this one's probably a little bit boring, but the other 2 look super fun and cool, like cool color stories. So I will try those on in a different video. And when I do a bright eye look, I do like to like wear lashes. So we'll test these out. That's it. Let's hop right into it. You guys, I'm gonna throw this on really quick. I love these Milani fruit fetishes and I took them to work. So I don't have them at home. So I just wanted to pick up another one that I could like have here or in my car. This one's the raspberry peach one. Just a lip oil, super juicy. I thought I would throw this on. Oh yeah. I call it like a different flavor. They're all like kind of tinted the same. None of them are more pigmented than the other ones. It's more like just a change of flavor. So this is the 3rd one that I've had. So I thought I'd just hydrate while we go into the skin tint. So I always like to talk about these a little bit before I put them on. Full name is the Yummy Skin Smoothing Serum Skin Tint Foundation with peptides and ceramides. It's so weird that they're like slightly different on the Sephora website and the descriptions than I think I see sometimes with the packaging. So it looks like it's a pretty expandable shade range. There's only 16 shades in the whole line. So that usually means it's kind of lighter coverage and it's more expandable. This is a very reflective box, sorry. This does retail for $36. It says that it's a hydrating and smoothing skincare infused skin tint that provides light coverage and a skin-like radiant finish. The highlighted ingredients are vegan collagen peptides, ceramides, and cactus extract, which is an antioxidant booster that hydrates and smooths. It's free of parabens, all that bad stuff. It's vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. It says our Yummy Skin Serum Tint visibly smooths skin while supercharging your skin with nourishing ingredients. This product includes 16 flexible shades that are optimized to address redness and unevenness for all skin tones. I get skeptical when it says like, you know, it's a really light coverage and then can minimize redness, but works for all skin tones. If it's so light that it only has 16 shades in the line, it's not gonna necessarily cover all of my redness. I did pick up mine in the shade 4. Hopefully this isn't too dark. If you guys watch any of my other videos, I usually try and match my freckles more than like the shade of my neck. That's just how I prefer my foundation, so I never pick the lightest shade. This does say it has a 12-month shelf life, and it was designed in the US but made in China. Here's the packaging. It's just a squeezy tube. However, I do really like that they have this part here so you can see how much foundation is left, or even shade if you're like trying to shade match in stores. Very excessive like top cap. It's cute though, like you could stand it up. It's a pretty like substantial tube as far as tubes go. All right, let's test this formulation out. And I'm gonna squeeze a pretty good amount on the back of my hand. I did try Danessa Myrics Yummy Skin Serum Foundation, And even though it said serum, it was never very lightweight. It wasn't a runny formula. It was on the thicker side. It was also very dry and not super hydrating. So I didn't keep it for very long. I ended up decluttering it pretty quickly because it never worked for me. And I kind of see the similarity in this to that consistency, and that even though this calls itself a serum, it's like, it's more whipped. Like, it's not a runny, super lightweight, watery foundation. I am gonna bounce it in with the sponge. I can already see like how much thicker the consistency is than if it were really serum-y, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do half the face first with just a damp sponge. I'm doing the sniff check. I smell nothing. It has no scent to it whatsoever. Well, it's not a whole lot of coverage. I pretty much bounced it all in. And I can also see a ton of radiance to it. It's actually quite skin-like. And that wasn't a small amount of coverage. It wasn't a lot, but it also wasn't like nothing. I like the shade match for me. It's my perfect shade match. And I still have that much left over on the back of my hand. Let's see if we can't build it up. I'm just gonna do the whole thing in one spot and move it. I don't know if that helps to build it up. That wasn't a whole lot extra. That didn't really build it up. It's still very, very skin-like. Very skin-like. It has a little bit of sheen. It's not a huge amount of coverage. I don't know that it's buildable, really, because it just doesn't seem like a really buildable formula, even the little bit that I added. And it felt heavier the second time I was putting it on my face. I don't want to say time, but like that little bit extra when I blended it out, actually I kind of felt it. Like, it feels a little bit heavier on the cheeks now. I actually think this is really pretty. It's very, very minimal coverage. So 16 shades, totally good. Not a foundation that I think you can make a claim that just gets rid of redness. You know, maybe the uneven skin tone. Not if you were battling something like rosacea or you really struggled with a lot of redness. I don't think this would cover it like it says. Wow, when you first put it on, it is really, really shiny. Like, it has a lot of shiny to it. But I feel like it starts to dry down. It's not as radiant, not as dewy a finish. I think I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more. It's kind of on the heavier side because it's dewy, you know? I don't dislike it so far. I can tell though, I would just like this for a very minimal coverage day. This is like the kind of foundation or skin tint, because it's on the thicker side, I could see it sinking into my fine lines. It's definitely heavy for the amount that I put on. So I'm gonna stick to the claim that this is something I feel like I would already use to wear for a lighter coverage day for just a little bit of coverage and just that super radiant finish. Because I think the added benefit of like the radiance is nice if you like that. I just would hate to kind of set something like this down. There are just other foundations in my collection that I feel like I would rather set down than this one. Because we're gonna use the new Lip Power Matte from Armani, I'm just gonna go into my Armani, what is this called? The Luminous Silk Concealer. And because I would normally set down my face, I'm going to, so that you guys can see like kind of what it looks like after you set it. This is a setting powder, but it's also kind of like a finishing powder. This is the Dior Bakstage Face and Body Powder No Powder. I really like this for a more like natural look. Like, it's definitely not an overly setting product. Not for me anyway. It just kind of makes my skin look, my skin but better. It'll set down a foundation without over mattifying it. So it's nice to just semi-lock it in and giving it a little bit of airbrushing. So it does a good job kind of taking away the radiance, but not all of it. And that's why I chose this powder. I can still see it kind of on the high points of my face. It has a little bit of radiance still, as opposed to this side. And it's really, really shiny, especially on the right side, or noticeable because the light sits over here, or one of my desk lights sits over there, so you can really see the light just kind of like bounce off of it. So there's a ton of dewiness on this, but I'm gonna set both sides of it just to make it even. It is really pretty, like unset, and I don't think it's overly tacky. It's not a wet formula. It doesn't remain sticky to the touch. I still think because of its formulation and its added dewiness and radiance, it's the kind that really might sink into my lines. So that's what I'm gonna look out for sure. It's really beautiful. Like it's skin-like, it's pretty. I'm liking my complexion. I'm just throwing on a bronzer really quickly. This is a totally like outdated, not even available product. It's the Blush Authority Amazonian Clay Cheek Wardrobe. It's one of those like holiday releases from Tarte. I just grabbed like the first one that was in my drawer just now. I will not let this go. I've had this for years. They didn't put these out last year. Like they usually don't do some version of like holiday releases in these Amazonian Clay Cheek wardrobes. And they did it in 2021, but they didn't do it in 2022. I wouldn't have picked it up, but I just usually keep my eye out for it, just kind of see how the packaging has changed or how they change the colors. I just really love this product and I usually travel with it, and since I'm leaving tomorrow, I might actually pack it. Do you see how like full on dirty it is? This one comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, whereas a lot of them usually come with just blushes. Like the other two I have are just full blushes. This is the only one that's like a real trio, but it works for me perfectly. So I keep traveling with this, and so far the powders seem to be just fine. They don't seem to have gone bad or hard panned in any way. So I'll probably just leave this out and travel with this. Let's move on into these blushes. So I did mention to you guys that I got these from Amazon. These are the Apu Juicy Pang blushers. This one is in a more corally shade or peachy shade, and this one is pink. And it looks like the shades, like at least on the back, because this is all in Korean, is BE01 in the more orangey shade and PK03 in the pinky shade. Like I said, these are like the little nail polishes. I've been so excited to try these. I've had these sitting up here for weeks. I kind of see a tinge to it. Like it has a little bit of marbleization in there. Hopefully it's translating. I don't think that's the product settling. I think that it has some radiance, like a little bit of sparkle to it. It sounds just like a nail polish. These are called the water blushers, so I imagine they're more on the sheer side, but still, I hear good things. I hear people saying good things about this. Let's go into the more mauve-y shade first, but I am gonna swatch this on the back of my hand. Here's the applicator. Wow, it's quite pigmented, like more so than I thought it was gonna be for like a water blusher. Here's one swipe. It has like good pigment, see that? It's not holding back or anything. I think we can probably just apply this straight to the cheeks. I'm gonna do a smell test too. It has like a sweet scent to it, but it's not overdone. And it definitely doesn't smell like nail polish. This brush usually picks up a good amount of product. It's pretty. Is it convenient? I don't know. Is it fun? Sure. It's light. It's on the lighter side of pigmentation. Well, the 3 drops that I did anyway, so I'm gonna see if I can build it up like that. It's not totally inconvenient either. It is in a glass bottle, so maybe not a travel friendly product. It doesn't seem to be picking up the foundation. I don't know if this is as much pigment as I like. I'm gonna keep building, see if I can't get it to the pigment that I like without making it feel like there's just a ton of product on my cheek. Uh-oh. So right here, it's like pulling up. It's not setting down evenly. It's starting to get patchy. Okay, maybe not an overly buildable formula. It has like a little bit of radiance, but the brush, like stippling it in that way is taking some of it off. I was able to work out like some of that patchiness that was happening, but I don't think I did all of it. I'm just gonna use the same brush, but I'm like wiping it off. I don't necessarily think you're gonna wanna go into this much product. Like I would normally wear that much on an everyday basis, but it looks heavy. I just don't like the way that it looks. I feel like that's the sweet spot. Like that's good. That's a good amount of pigmentation. This one's really heavy. I just wanted to really see if it built up. But I think the 4 swipes that I did with the more peachy shade was kind of the ticket. This one looks a little bit it's just too heavy. Like, I don't like the effect that it's giving when I kind of built this up. I'm gonna see if I can't like kind of dull the shade a little bit. Oh well, that took away all the radiance and now it's not fun. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to keep testing these. My first impressions aren't fantastic. Like, I'm not blown away by this. I don't necessarily think these are the easiest formula to work with, and maybe not my desired effect. Like, I've been loving liquid blushes lately. I can't say that I've fallen in love with these right away. So this is a we'll have to keep trying kind of situation. If you guys liked the way that this looked, I don't know, these might be for you. They're definitely very, very luminous, maybe on the lighter side, or meant to be worn on the lighter side. So this is where I'm going to hop out, you guys. I'm going to film the other video with the Viseart Petite Fours. We'll come back and then I will kind of do an update on the foundation a little bit. We will throw on these lashes, and then finally we will throw on this new lip product from Giorgio Armani. So I will see you guys back here shortly. Hello from like 20 minutes in the future. As suspected, this is absolutely sinking into my fine lines, and pretty badly too. So I was right about that. I don't think that it's bad, but let's do a final thoughts at the end. Let's go into these lashes next. I have to say, like, I love the little packaging, like, so useful. You can't necessarily see the style though, that's the problem, like when you store them. Otherwise, super duper luxe. These are actually like the perfect sized band. You guys, I don't like something super thick, and I also don't like something that's like too thin that it has a hard time sticking to my lid. I think that my lid, I don't know, maybe my lid's not different, but I feel like it's thinner. Like, as I get older, it's definitely getting thin. By the way, I'm cutting off like 2 notches of this because this will be way too big for my little eyes. These, by the way, are in a style that looks fantastic for me. They are in the style Stella. You do have to find them on the little sticker that's down there. Okay, I'm going in. Wow, these are really wispy, but I do know that Manny likes really wispy lashes. These are pretty, and they're like in this perfect oval shape. I have to have like an oval shaped, because sometimes some of the lashes, like just the way that they bend, and that might seem silly to you guys, but just the way that they bend, they droop in certain parts of my eye, and it just doesn't look good. Because this band is so thick, I'm going in with liner. I am using my Danessa Myrics Lineworks liner. Oh no, oh my gosh, it was like, I don't know if it was just because I was sitting there for so long, but it totally leaked like right onto my eye, and it just deposited a ton of product. It was like coming right off of the felt tip. So I ended up having to do damage control, and I'm not like really pleased with it. I ended up having to do a really thick line of liner. I really need to put some Q-tips up here. Do you guys see how thick the liner was on this side? Like in the inner corner? Ugh, I don't know if it's like super hot up here or I shook it too much, but this liner has never done that to me before. But it deposited so much product. It's so frustrating. Guys, this eye is legit like puffy now from all the rubbing that I was doing. I didn't even like try to make the eyeliner match on this eye. Makeup mishaps happened. Let's go into the Giorgio Armani Lip Power Matte. This one is in the shade 114. It's called Romantic. I think Giorgio Armani does a pretty good job on their lip products. This is interesting. I don't think this is the shade that I got, so no, it isn't. So I think they all come with this matte black bottom and a matte red top, which doesn't help you like distinguish what the shade is. It's a teardrop shape, nice and super creamy. I still have some other like swatches down here, so sorry about that. This is like a my lips not but better color. This is not the shade for me. It's a super comfortable formula, but do you guys see like every line in my lip that it's emphasizing? This is like kind of a peachy shade, which looks terrible on me because I'm so fair skinned, it like washes out my lips. Formula is very comfortable. Finish looks like it's, you know, you can see all my lip lines. Pretty expensive for a lot of lip lines, I have to say. It's really comfortable on though. So like if I didn't know that it looked like this, I would be pleased with the way that it felt. Does that help you? I have no idea, but I can't leave it like this. It still looks dry. I don't like it, and I don't like the shade. So if you guys also have fair skin, I don't think you'd like the shade in 114. Formula feels good, it just doesn't look good. So let's do a final wrap up on everything. Mostly the foundation, I think, or the skin tint rather. I think it's beautiful. I think that I took away most of its radiance, which I think is kind of the benefit of this. I don't dislike it. My skin does look pretty. I think that the more that it sits though, it seems like a heavier texture and consistency. I also know that because it's that dewy or more radiant finish, it was like really kind of sinking into my fine lines, but I went like this and like it seems to be gone. It's pretty, it's light coverage. Everything else that I put on top of it made it more mattifying, kind of changed it a little bit. I think that I would like this if it were just by itself and I was looking for light coverage. Like a makeup, no makeup day, but still with makeup, but more than just no makeup. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's not bad by any means. Like it's not looking like it's separating or looking dry. It's not sitting on my face funny. I just felt that I liked the lighter layer more than when I went in and tried to kind of like rebuild it up. It's pretty and I don't dislike it the way that I like the other Yummy Skin foundation. So that's my final thoughts on that. These, you guys, I don't think I like them. I definitely don't like them built up. I do like this side a little bit more, better with like one layer. And that's kind of what I have to say about that. The lashes are beautiful. These are so cool. I love the band. I love the shape. Skip the Armani. You guys, this was super, super dry. If you have like perfect filler lips or you're like 20, I think this is good. Otherwise, it's just not my favorite. The shape is cool. The formula feels good. On the lips, it just looked, you could see every lip line, and I don't like that you can't see the shade, that they're all just kind of the same. And I know that this is a higher price point. So those are my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm out of here. I'm gonna keep this outro simple. I hope you guys consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye.